And Java support threads which allow program to work faster and more efficient. Hey everyone, how are you all doing? I hope everything is good. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most powerful programming language in the world of Java. Like if you are a beginner or thinking about starting your coding journey, Java is one of the best place to begin. Why? Because Java is everywhere in mobile apps, in banking system, in large scale enterprise software, in web apps, in games, and even inside ATMs also. Like from Android apps to big companies like Google, Amazon, Netflix, Java plays the huge role behind the scene. And Java is a programming language and also a platform. But what actually is Java? Java is a high level object oriented platform independent high performance multi-threading and portable programming language. And if these words confusing, like what is object oriented, what is platform independent, what is multi-threading, or even portable programming, don't worry about at all. I will break all of these topics step by step so you can understand them easily. By the way, Java was originally created by James Gosling and in his team at Sun Microsystem. And back in 1991, June 1991, and later Sun Microsystem was acquired by Oracle. So now Java is officially owned by Oracle. But you think before Java are there are many programming language exist. Then why was Java even created? Think about it. Let I will explain why it's happened. Like back in early 90s, computer, electronic device and operating system were all very different from each other. Like a program written for one machine would not work on another machine. Then James Gosling and in his team wanted to solve this problem, and they wanted a language that could run on any device without rewriting the code. And that's where the idea was born. A language that follow the rule write once run anywhere. WORA rule. Like meaning if you write a Java program code once and you can run on any machine that has a Java virtual machine JVM. And that's why Java become such a powerful programming language in the world. And if you have any doubt, comment below. I will break down it. So let's move into next topic. Now topic is key feature of Java. Simple and easy to learn. Java is considered as simple as easy to learn because its syntax is clean and very similar like to like English. And if you understand basic Java, basic English and logical thinking, you can understand also Java. Like it remove many complicated feature that other language have, like a pointer, multiple inheritance, and operator overloading. This makes Java much easier for beginners. And even Java also has a huge library of a built-in function, which mean you don't have like write everything from the scratch. And that's why Java is one of the best language for beginner. And as we move forward, I will explain you step by step so everything becomes super easy to understand you. Then let's move into next topic, that is object oriented programming. Like object oriented programming is simply means Java organize everything into object, and object just like life means simply means Java organize everything into object just like a life, and an object has mainly two things. Oh, first is a data and a behavior. Example, you can say a car is a car is object, and color, model, and speed is a data of is this is a data, and start, move is a behavior of a car, and color, model, speed is a data. And main things of object oriented programming is data and behavior, that is the two thing that has a object. And in Java we be under object just like that. And this makes Java easy to maintain, reusable, and perfect for a big project. So basically in Java everything is based on object oriented programming. Every concept, like every feature, every structure in Java is built around the object. And don't worry if you don't understand object oriented programming right now. I will explain the full object oriented concept like class, inheritance, object, encapsulation, polymorphism, and many more things in another dedicated section of object oriented programming. For now, just remember Java use a real life object structure to make coding simple and powerful. Then we have what is a portable programming. Means you can carry the same Java program from one system to another and it will run perfectly. And because Java bytecode is a universal and it behaves the same on every machine. So portability means you can take Java program to any computer and it will be run on the same way. And we will understand why bytecode and portable in more details in the upcoming sections. Then we have multi-threaded, can be multiple tasks at once. Multi-threading means, so in simple words, what is multi-threading? That means Java can do multiple tasks at the same time. Like when you are watching a video while downloading a file, both happen together. That means that's a multi-threading. And Java support threads which allow program to work faster and more efficient. And don't worry it multi-threading sound complex right now. I will show you practically in another section how Java run multiple thread at the same time. So it become easy to understand how multi-threading works. And like widely used in a web apps, mobile apps, Android enterprise software, games, cloud, AI, on all of it's a Java. So in short, like Java object oriented, easy to use, runs on any device, and does many tasks at the same time, and you can carry if anywhere. This makes Java simple and powerful. Then we have how to Java code execute. How Java code execute. First we have a Java file, that is a .java extension. Like in Java has a .java extension, in C++ has a .cpp, in Python has a .py extension. These are extension, and also this is a human readable, and this is also called a source code. And this is the code that we write on Java inside a file. And then we have a compiler. Compiler just like a computer program that translates source code written in a high level programming language, and it convert into machine code or a byte code, and that computer can understand and execute it. That means compiler equal to translator of code, and compiler that convert entire file at once, and after we write the Java source code, and Java first use a compiler, and the compiler read the entire .java file, and it can convert into another form, and this output is called a byte code. Like this is a byte code. Then what is a byte code? Byte code is a intermediate code. Like it is not a machine language and not a human readable. It is a universal code that can run on any device that has a JVM. And computer did not understand the byte code. JVM changed the byte code to machine code, and that code computer can understand. And even if you also know about, computer only understand the binary digits 0 and 1s, and computer only understand man things of a bunch of binary digits, like a hello world, and this binary have a bunch of binary digits, and that is also a machine code, so computer can understand the bunch of binary digits. And I will explain you these topics in details how JVM works. Don't worry about all. Then we have a dot class file or a hello dot class, and this dot class file is a compiler that generates a dot class file, and this file contains a byte code which is not a human readable and not also a machine code. This is our hello dot class. Then we have a interpreter or JVM. That means runs byte code line by line, because we have say we are a byte code, and then it goes into interpreter, and it runs on the line by line. Now the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, takes a dot class file, and inside JVM an interpreter runs the byte code line by line, and this interpreter convert byte code into machine code, and this convert into machine code. and machine code is also known as a binary digits or a 0 and 1s, and here we give as a output, and output is we have a hello world or any output what we have demand on a screen, so on a screen. So the flow are very similar. First we write a Java code or a source code, then it goes into a compiler, then compiler convert into a bytecode, then it goes into a JVM or interpreter, and it convert into a machine language binary digits, because JVM convert it into ascending of a system. Then we have a this is a code will not directly run on any system, like bytecode is a not run on any system, and we need JVM to run this, and that's why Java is a platform independent, because of a bytecode that makes a Java as a platform independent. Then we have more about a platform dependent. Means the same program can run on any operating system like Windows, Mac or Linux without changing the code. That is a main means of a platform independent. Like it means the bytecode can run on all operating system like Mac OS, Windows or Linux. Like we write a window and we can run on the Mac on a computer or a laptop on use of a bytecode, and we need convert source code to machine code so computer can understand, and like we need a converter or a JVM that convert a source code to machine code that can computer can understand, and a compiler helps in doing this by turning it executable code, and compiler that helps us to turning this executable code. And after compiling like C++ code, we get a .exe file which is a platform dependent. Like we write on a code of a C++ and we get after compilation we get a .exe file, and that is a platform dependent. That file run on a special that computer can understand, and that means that computer can compile, only computer can understand of a .exe file. But in Java, we get a bytecode and JVM convert this into machine code. Like in Java, we get the bytecode, and bytecode run on any machine or any system or any operating system, and that has a JVM and it convert into machine code. And that's why Java is a platform independent, but JVM is a platform dependent. And man think this is a possible because of a JVM, Java Virtual Machine, behind which convert Java bytecode to machine code. And that's why Java follow the golden rule, write once, run anywhere. So in simple word, because of a JVM, Java program can run on anywhere. And trust me, this is one of the biggest reason why Java become so popular. We will and also we will learn how JVM, JDK and JRE work in another section. And that's all about what is a platform independent. Yeah, we have also a JDK vs JRE vs JVM vs JIT. Like JDK equal to Java Development Tools, Java Development Kit, JRE equal to JVM plus class libraries, and JRE full form of JRE is Java Runtime Environment, then JVM, Java Virtual Machine, then JIT, just in time. And we will learn about in details how it's work and how manage. Then first goes into JDK, Java Development Tools. Like it is a software development kit used to develop a Java program. Like it provide an environment to develop and run the Java program. JDK, Java Development Kit, that is a software kit used to develop Java applications. Main things are it provides an environment to develop, run the Java program, and it is a package that include development tools to provide environment to develop your Java program, and JRE to execute your program, compiler like Java C that have we have a compiler also seen here. This is a compiler that have a JDK. This compiler has have a JDK. This compiler Java C and achiever jar and interpreter are a loader, and both things we have seen into also how it's work, the achiever and interpreter. And main use case of JDK is used by developers to write, compile and debug a Java program. This is a main use of a JDK, write, compile and debug the Java program. And also JDK is a platform dependent. JDK is a platform dependent. Then we have a JRE, Java Runtime Environment, and it is a software package that provide a JVM and class libraries and other components to run the Java application. Like it is an installation package that provide an environment to only run the program, and it consists of a deployment technology, user interface toolkits, integration libraries, base libraries and JVM. Like it main components of a to run the Java applications, and its Java runtime environment use of a it is a end to end user execute Java application without needing a development tools. Like it runs the Java program without need a development tools. And its function like it provide the environment for executing Java application. Like it provide a environment to run the Java program. Then we have a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. And JVM, Java Virtual Machine, is a software engine that runs Java program, and it is also part of a JRE, Java Runtime Environment, and responsible for converting Java bytecode to machine code, so your computer can understand and execute it. That means of a JVM is a software based engine that run the Java program, like that runs a Java program, and it is also part of a runtime environment that convert bytecode to machine code, so computer can understand and execute it. And that have include a class loader, bytecode verifier, interpreter or JIT, just in compiler, execution engine and memory management. And JVM, of a main use of a JVM is convert bytecode into machine code, and it execute on the underlying hardware. And JVM is also a platform dependent. That's a JVM, Java Virtual Machine. Then we have a JDK, JD, JIT, just in time. And JIT is a like just in time compiler is a part of a JVM execution engine. Like it is also part of a JVM execution engine, like here JIT compiler. And it improves the performance of converting frequently used bytecode to native machine code at runtime. Main use of a JVM is it convert at a frequently used to bytecode to machine code at a runtime. This is a converting or a convert of a bytecode to machine code, and it convert like bytecode to machine code, and it reduce also execution time and balance between the interpretation and compilation, and it optimize the code, how codes are worked. Then we have a class loader. Class loader load all classes that need execute a program. Like we have seen class loader. This class loader is a class loader that load all classes to need execute the program. And Java send to bytecode verifier to check the format of a code. That's of a JVM. And JVM contains the all the stack and heap memory allocation. Like JVM contains that heap and stack memory allocation. And how JVM works or how Java program execute. This is a like we write a first Java source code. This is a we write on a .java file, and then it goes into a JDK. JDK is a Java development kit, and it compilation, and it have a compilation like Java C, and it compiles the Java program, and that convert into a bytecode, and bytecode have a dot class. Then bytecode store a dot class file, and then bytecode goes into a JVM or a interpreter, and it goes into JVM, and JVM convert into a machine code, and machine code goes into JRE, Java runtime environment, and it become a output that display on the screen. Like here we have a hello world, or what we are given input and what we taken as a output on the screen. We have seen in here. Now all right, now let's do the real practice of a coding. Then first we need download the JDK and a code editor like IntelliJ IDEA, and the link is on the description, so you can check on it. So open your browser and search the JDK download and go into a Oracle website, or check also description below. I have set on the JDK or a file link on the description, and select your go, and then select your operating system like Linux, Mac OS, Windows. We have a window, then go into a window and download the .exe file. This is a .exe file download, and what we have .64 compilation. So once you download, then run and accept on license agreement and follow the instruction of complete the initialization. And after installation JDK, let's install the IntelliJ IDEA. Then you open your again browser or a link on the description below. Check it and select on your window, select on your operating system, like we have a window, then download the window.exe file, and which is a part free and development to use. So once you download and complete, run the initialization and follow the step of initialization on your system. And when you face any problem, then you can check on any internet and download how to download the JDK and IntelliJ IDEA, and you can complete it. And after both download JDK and IntelliJ IDEA, then you ready to execute our first Java program and start coding. Then we start coding into next class or a next video, and we will see you in the next one. Then we write the first program in next video, and that's for a today lecture, an introduction of a Java. I hope you found it very helpful and ready to take action. And don't forget to check out notes, code and full assignment on my GitHub, and the link is on the description below. Remember the one thing, you and your goals is effort you can waiting to put on it. Take your first step and keep pushing every day, and never settle for less than your best. So if this video added to your journey, smash the like button and share with it someone who serious about learning, and subscribe for more powerful lecture tutorial and ready world coding and the real world coding. Drop a comment below with a good working on towards. I will cheering for you all the way. That's a load for today, and we will back into next one.